Doing da doing doing doing. First real ATV trail ride on my new Polaris XP 1000S. Let's see what this thing can do. Ooh, well, let's see if it can not swamp itself. I don't know how deep that's gonna be. Oh, you know, a little bit. Gotta keep it off the Insta360 camera up there. Let's see. We'll go this way. So we are up near the Willow Flowage, and we're on the Little Rice ATV trails. Oh my goodness, that are bumpy in Oneida County. It's a beautiful spot up here. I've had my King Quad 500 up here one time in the summer right after I got it. Since I couldn't ride a dual sport, it was kind of always off limits, since that's all I had. So as soon as I got that machine, I actually threw it in the bed of my truck and brought it up here. And I don't know why, maybe just because it was a new experience, maybe because I was by myself, and woo, maybe it's because I had some problems. I had both of my dual exhaust pipes fall off, but I don't know, there's just something about that trip. It was just a lot of fun. It's kind of neat. Oh. About to get even bumpier. Doing, 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 doing. Good suspension test for this, I suppose. I don't know, something about this thing seems kind of clunky. It's got like 2,000 miles on it, so I can't imagine anything's wore out, but I guess maybe it is. I think Polaris gets kind of a bad rap, and I guess maybe that's why. And maybe I'm just used to my nice, kind of tight suspension on a 430-pound motorcycle with two wheels and contact points about that big versus this giant thing with the truck tires on it. This thing's over 1,000 pounds, so I guess maybe that takes a bit to manage it. Should be good at it though with my Walker Evans shocks on here that everybody that bought the 2022 model is so upset about not having, which, I mean, if I saw a picture of a machine that I was spending 15 grand on, and it had one shock on it, and when it came, it had another. Woo! I wouldn't be very happy either. Oh! I was just gonna say, I'm pretty sure we're hydroplaning. Woo! Taste a little bit of that muddy water. Ay. I've always seen people do that. I never really realized that you could get that much flotation out of something like this. I just got done telling you how much it weighed. I can't believe that. I guess when you got tires that are 10 inches wide, or more than that even. Yeah, man, especially with that electronic steering, this thing really is kind of confusing to ride, almost. I mean, it handles so light just because of the, I guess, good suspension. It really feels a lot lighter than it is. Got the VV maps on here. Love having that. No trucks or cars or motorcycles. Oh man. Whoa. Woo. How cool. Kind of a chilly day out today, actually. It was, I think, supposed to be 59 at home, but up here I think it's only like 45. It was, what, 90 last weekend? Silly. Got the Tusk lock-on grips cranked though. Hands aren't cold for sure. Neither is my thumb. Probably turn my music down. You guys can probably hear that. Woo! Really need to make a video about this, but I've got the FOD Sports Bluetooth communicator on here. You can put a link for it down in the description if you guys are interested. Honestly, I'm not really impressed with the speakers as far as the music goes, but it seems like it's got some nice features anyway compared to my last BTS2 communicators. I don't know, how many of you four-wheeler guys use these? I don't think I knew about them until I was riding a dual sport. It's more of a dual sport adventure bike thing, I think. It seems like it's catching on with the sleds now too. Get quite a few questions about them while riding my snowmobile. Holy wet. And we kept it dry on that one. I think I'm gonna have to turn these grips down. Woo. You guys like days like this? I kind of do. Of course, a nice sunny day is maybe preferable, but being the only one out on the trails when it's like this is a nice perk. All I do when I go through that is watch the camera. I hope it doesn't get dirty. Not because I care, just because I don't want to have to get off. Whoa, man. That's a flipper. Both of those were. Woo. I gotta say, I'm glad on this. I'm glad I'm on this and not my motorcycle. Jeez. Testing out the waterproofness of the AK off-road light bar up there, I suppose. Yikes! I don't think it even rained that much. Woo! Maybe you should have this in four-wheel, huh? That's no fun. Woo! Yeah, the hydroplaning actually works pretty good, but man, I didn't like ending up sideways like that. That's not fun. Water tastes different up here. This is gonna be one messy machine. One messy camera too. Is there anything other than water puddles up here? I don't remember this. I suppose people just worked them down until they were giant pits. Ah, I see. Once you get in them, then you throttle it. Then you sort of climb out rather than plowing into it and getting tossed sideways. Boing. Yeah, this thing is a lot like riding a 1,000-pound sport quad. It isn't quite as, I don't know how to describe it. I guess you don't feel as connected to the ground just because of the independent suspension, where the sport quads that I rode back in the day had a solid axle and much less plush suspension altogether. This has actually got a dual spring setup, and woo, I think that kind of helps cushion some of the blows. And then once you use up that cushion, then it's got the other spring to kind of handle things, and let's take over from there. I gotta say, it's definitely a comfy ride. It's something that I could see riding a lot longer than any other machine that I own, I think, honestly. I think before we go too much further, though, we gotta clean that up. Ooh, what was that? A grouse? Maybe that'd have been an owl. Clean that up. I think I'm gonna click my shocks up in the rear a little bit. This looks like a good spot, maybe. Poor sweatshirt. I'm missing my modular helmet now. I want to flip this up and take a drink, but I gotta say, I'm glad that I didn't bring that one, because that's actually my nice sled helmet, and I sure wouldn't want that all full of mud. It's a messy day. What are we doing here? Crank those guys up. You don't want to go all the way to the end and leave it. You want to go there and then come back one click. There we are. I think the ones in the front are already all the way up. Oh my gosh, we've been doing this in standard mode. Performance. Oh, and we're almost out of gas. Well, that's certainly not good. Maybe performance mode isn't the way to go then. Honestly, I have no idea where I would have to go for gas. This thing gets about the same as my truck does for mileage, 14 or so. Wow, I can tell that. Actually, seems like it drastically improved the handling. This thing, I don't know, I think it is just the EPS, but it feels twitchy to me. And I mean, it seems like, I want more birds. It seems like it's very responsive, but almost too responsive. And I don't know, it might just be the big tires on here that kind of throw things off. I've asked other owners of these things, and they've said that basically it's the most easy to control planted machine that they've ever owned. And I guess personally, I've always been surprised that my four-wheel drive four-wheelers have felt so good on the pavement. But this one, man, I don't know. And at first, people were kind of telling me, and I was thinking that maybe the shocks needed to be redone or recharged, but honestly, I don't know if that's really the case. Ooh, gas anywhere? No, yeah, maybe. Oh, we got another bar, we're good. Fuel. Where do we gotta go for that? 2.8 miles. I guess we'll get some gas and then turn the cameras back on. I don't need to watch me ride on the road, I guess. So, I made it all the way to the gas station and then realized that I do not have my wallet on me. I have never done that before, and this is probably the worst time to do it. I've got a little ways to go yet. I think I'll make it back, I guess. At least I hope I would. So I guess we're done with the trail ride for now. I flipped it back to standard mode. I do have to say, though, that now that I clicked up those rear shocks to as hard as they'll go, I've got to say this thing feels a lot more solid. So I guess I'll have to double check when I get back, flip the hood up and see if those clickers in the front are all the way as hard as they go too. I would assume that the factory settings would be like at least usable, but man, I don't know, that it sure was uncomfortable for me. And this still feels, I mean, maybe a little bit twitchy when you give it too much input, but I don't know, it's definitely a heck of a lot better, and I guess I didn't buy it to ride on the road, so I don't want to make you guys watch that either, so I guess we'll just end it here. Thanks for watching, take care, stay safe, stay swanky, get out, enjoy this beautiful world for yourself if you can, and if you can't, here's some more videos to check out in the meantime. Hit that subscribe button if you're still here and watching, and if you want to see more. See ya! That was a weird sign-off.